What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the number one comment on YouTube. And I'm back with another, let's call it a recap of Married at First Sight Decision Day. And I can't even do my intro on this one because I'm so blown away that each and every couple has said yes on Decision Day. Now, I thought Katina and Lajuan would actually say yes because, as I said, that molding process he hit with Katina and her prior relationships, it just, again, fit together for a perfect storm. So I didn't expect her to break away. But the fact that everyone stayed together has made me know for sure, even though we all knew reality TV isn't so real. But this is absolutely ridiculous. They must have promised them some money for they just go ahead and stay married and get divorced in 12 days or something like that. I don't know, but this can't be the process. So I really have to. My first disclaimer is I got to remove myself from this because I can't be too emotionally involved. So even if it sounds crazy, I just got to go with the flow and act like the so-called experts and just go with it. Like, yeah, this is what we wanted. So, okay, before I get started, again, I do reviews of reality shows. I do a detailed review, maybe pull out some details you may have not seen. But as you saw in my intro, I am the number one commenter. So what I do look for is for the comments. I don't ask, like, please like and subscribe. That's not my thing. If you rocking with your boy J-Dub, you're going to do it anyway. But what I do say, I need those comments. You come on this channel, you come on our channel, it's all about the comments. Trust me, that's all I care about. That's all I want. And just while you're in those comments, I only got one rule. Stay respectful to the Dub family. This ain't just somebody you get down in the comments, you just talking to anybody. These my people. And over here on our channel, we have respect for each other. But if you want to talk about anything you see on TV, you want to talk about Lindsay's ill-fitted wear or the little thing in Jasmina's eye, so be it. But stay respectful with each other because that's my fam, the Dub fam. So let's go ahead and get started if we can. Normally I do separate videos for each couple, but this really wasn't it. So I'm going to say I got probably a page of notes for each one. Let's start off in order. Well, we got Michael and Jasmina. And as far as in the decision in their confessional, they both have such wonderful things to say about each other. So I'm figuring out, like, why is it even a struggle for them to not stay together since things are so great? So I can say for a decision day, they both were dressed pretty nice. And I thought Jasmina was slightly underdressed. She looked more so like she was going to the company picnic or something like that. I wanted to see a little more from the Caribbean Amazonian goddess. Jasmine about 5'10" or something like that. Put on some type of long gown or something, but okay. Maybe Mavs gave all the budget to the guys, so I don't know. But so according to Michael, we see he's saying that he's done everything possible in this marriage for it to work. And in a sense, I guess I can believe him say to the best of his ability. I've always asked, and everybody knows I've always been hard and tough on little Michael because I just felt like he was lacking as a husband. And I wanted to see more from him if he was so into Jasmina like that. But Michael's pretty much saying, like, him and Jasmina have hit a turning point where everything kind of came together. Like, I guess once he had opened up and became so vulnerable, but the only thing they're lacking is I guess physical intimacy. And the closest thing he's gotten to that is a booty grab in his sleep. I meant to put the quote in his sleep, and that's what Pastor Kel's saying, like, in his sleep. But isn't it something that how Pastor Cal is always like pushing the couples, no matter what they're going through. It's like, oh, y'all just had a knife and gunfight. You know what y'all should probably do? Y'all should probably consummate the marriage. That's the answer for everything for Pastor Cal. I almost want to think Pastor Cal is like addicted to porn or something. He want to know all the details. Who knows? I'm gonna start calling him Pastor Porn. But as Dr. Pepper said, once Pastor Cal started talking about all this booty grabbing and stuff like that, she said, well, we all on the booty train now. We want to know what's going on, and did Jasmine want it? Was she okay with it? Was Michael really not asleep? But, what can I say? I would just say, just them saying yes, that really shocked me, because I just had no idea Jasmine would go forward when she was struggling with attraction throughout the entire process. And I always thought, I put in the comments, they'd be like, oh, I think Michael is going to say no. And I'll be funny in the comments and be like, oh, he'll never get the chance. Jasmine is definitely going to say no to him. But surprisingly, Michael went first. He said yes, he wants to learn more in his marriage, so he's going to go forward. And Jasmina actually went in and said, yeah, she wants to stay married as well. But I'm thinking that's possible because Jasmina in the end, has negotiated some terms where they're going to live apart. And Michael is bought into the program, well, yeah, we should probably live apart and take it day by day, take it slow. How slow can it get? They already been living together for 2 months. The attraction is not there. And now they're going to move separately, so they won't be sleeping together with each other, and they both have roommates. And Michael has 2 female roommates. So how are we going to get closer in that situation? It sounds like it's a setup. It's a plan to fail. Or what they could do, they got 3 roommates in between them. They could all rent a house together. I heard Boston is expensive, so maybe they'll all work, and they can be an all big happy family with all the roommates and Mr. Feeney, because they all like buddies anyway. So that was about it. They just walked out like little buddies walking from summer camp, and no connection, walking out. I bet you Jasmine had to open her own door going out or whatever, but that's what Michael do. So anyway, good luck to them. Good luck to the happy couple. Wonderful. Let's go to Katina and Olajuwon. Like Michael and Jasmina, the husband is focused, because I noticed that all the husbands had on blue suits. So I'm thinking Married at First Sight had pretty much fitted those guys for the suits. And again, to me, I saw Katina. Katina now, she looked very nice. However, her dress was kind of missing something. It didn't give me the decision day look, like this is a big day. And her makeup was actually on point. She retired the 600 density wig, but her dress looked like she was going to her nephew's high school graduation. I needed more. But actually, Pastor Cal, he was really, I guess, impressed by their energy, the way they're just connected and drawn to each other. And I saw something real different. It looked more like to me like how a child looks at their parent for assurance, or you have to agree with them, because we all know that Katina is all about pleasing Olajuwon, because that's exactly how he has set that a part of that molding system that we heard about on the wedding night or whatever. So yeah, I don't see the connection. I see her always trying to do and reach that unreachable bar that Olajuwon will have for her, and always moving and always require more, and always it's about me, please me, what can you do this right. And she's just going to keep going and keep going, she's his pet or something. And I don't like seeing that, but again, at this point, from the experts to Katina, if she's all in and she's totally committed to this process, she wants that husband so bad and so much, I got to let her have it. I got to let her go. I got to let her go. I can't hold on to her. She don't want to be saved. So I was like, I just still didn't understand. I know I'm saying I'm letting it go, but it's just points I have to make when saying, what does Katina really see in Olajuwon, that says, yes, I need this guy in my life. I need this husband. He overtalks her. He constantly throws backhanded compliments to her. It's like a build you up, tear you down kind of situation. And she's just there. It's always about what he needs. And the way he speaks to her, it's never thoroughly addressed by anyone. Olajuwon, the experts, it's just like, what's going on with Katina? Nobody cares what Katina wants. Not even Katina. So, at this point, Katina just want to get out of her mother house or whatever, I'm guessing, and have a baby by Olajuwon. And, he don't have no problem telling her. I mean, right on the decision day, you got to watch his words like he's a violent person. Like, what is he going to say now? Like, oh, she can't cook. Her food's not edible. And Katina's like, I can cook. They're debating whether she can cook. And that's the issue within their marriage, because that's what Olajuwon's saying. There's so much that they could discuss and cover about things they need to clean up about their marriage. But again, it's all about Olajuwon. He at this point he's saying he ain't defending about wanting a wife to cook anymore, because it may sound stupid, but that's what he wants. He ain't apologizing. So be it. So the lady need to know how to cook. And they even, just how, I guess they kind of fit together, because I would say, like, even just the way he speaks, like something's missing. He don't have it all, whether it's the medication or the pronunciations. But Katina ain't too far from it all as well. He had me saying gondola, but when it's actually gondola, and he tripled down on it this time and kept saying it, like, Katina took me out to another world. She brought Italy to Boston when she took me on the gondola. And he just kept saying it, and even Mavs put a little music in it, like, this guy's like totally stupid or whatever. But I don't know, Katina. Why Katina? But Olajuwon, after he didn't put her down, and he tries to build her back up, and says, like, he knows that there'll be no one who would give that much effort like Katina gave, and he's absolutely right. Katina is what the definition of a ride or die. She's going to give any and everything that you got. Like, you can see when a person is really trying. They may not, let's say, be doing the best job in the world, but Katina definitely has that effort. I just wish that effort wasn't in vain. Like, she would really have a husband who would, like, love her, look after her, take care of her, comfort her, find out what she wants out of life. But she don't have that. She don't have that. So, everybody was just so touched by Olajuwon's speech about, Katina just being so dedicated and showing effort. It was not a dry eye in there. All the so-called experts were crying and everything. And what can I say? I just got to let Katina have. I just can't get into it so much, because I done gone on rants about this, but it won't help. It don't help. But we learned in the end that they actually consummated the marriage, and Katina pretty much said it was well worth the wait. Another controlling tool that Olajuwon has in the marital process. And I think it'll last for some time. Will they make it forever? I doubt it, but he has such a hold on her, and she wants to be there with him no matter how he treats her. So good luck to the happy couple. Congratulations. All right, who we going to go next to in order? We're doing Noi and Steve. So Noi and Steve, they both in their decision day attire. They look really nice, and I really liked how Steve showed up. Like, he knocked the ball out the park. Steve showed up with, flowers. And not only did he have flowers, he had a gift for Pastor Porn, and he also gave flowers to the other so-called experts as well, and had a bouquet for Noi. I thought that was a very nice touch. It's a big day. You're supposed to be dressed in your best. You're supposed to have the best attitude. Lil Michael could take some notes about Steve. He's just treating Jasmine like his roommate or whatever. But Steve was the only person that did that. But I can expect that from Steve. Everybody know I call Steve the con man, because he running game. Because Steve is not one of my favorite people. However, I cannot get past how wonderful he communicates with Noi. And but one thing when it comes to finances, that communication stops. The lumps get in his throat. I know when somebody's hiding something. But okay, Noi want to go forward with this. I gotta back off. It's hard. It's very difficult for me to do this, but I gotta do it anyway. And Noi even really appreciates that. She brought up the point that like when her and Steve are going through it, he cares for her. He's gentle with her. He don't go crazy on her, because that is really saying something. Because like if you can find someone that deals with you at your worst, and they know that, hey, I'm not your enemy. I know we're going through an issue, but I got you. We're going to make it through. You do have something special there. That's a real thing, because that's a rare find. It takes a person who is like really emotionally aware and someone who really cares about you to do something like that, because everybody gets mad. Everybody gets irritated. But when you can take a step back and say, hey, this is my spouse. We mad. We going through it. But guess what? I'm still not going to treat you bad. So I got to give my hats off to Calm Man Steve. You know, he doing the thing. So, and everybody, I could feel that one. Now, everybody, they was crying on that one too, because Noi, you could feel that she really appreciated that, because Noi knows that she's not the easiest person to deal with, like in communication. So that's a real thing. But you know they got to bring up some kind of drama in the situation where you got to show a negative or what have you. And Noi brings up that Steve, it's kind of like it'd be petty in situations where he wants to split up all the chores and all of that. And she's saying like, hey, marriage ain't 50-50. And she's absolutely right. She has the concept, because it's sometimes one person is going to have to do more than the others in situations. And you don't keep tally of that. You may remember I did that for you, or remember I cooked 3 meals in a row. Now you got to cook 3 meals in a row. That's not how it works successfully. However, Steve is just saying like, hey, I get that. It's not 50-50, but I don't want everything to be piled up on me, especially when we're going to have these 2.5 kids and another dog and all that stuff. So I'm going to be cleaning the poop, changing the diapers, cooking the meals, cleaning the house, all that. And Noi looking like, yeah, I'm good with that. You ain't working. You ain't got no job. But I'm with Steve. Yeah, it can't be that imbalanced. But again, Calm Man Steve jumped out there and was like, hey, you know, they even played the clip back. If you want me to go to work now, the house is not going to be clean as it normally is, and the food is not going to be as good. You know you want this good food I'm cooking. So which one is it, Calm Man Steve? But okay, we go into it. We don't have to do all that, because Noi should have really brought up the financial plan and him getting lumps in his throat when it's time to do the spreadsheet or whatever. But okay, but guess what? Noi came right behind that when I was talking to the TV, talking about, what about the money? What about the finances? And Noi brought that up, and I'm glad she did. And Pastor Cal even came to Steve's defense about like, you know, Steve, are you feeling hurt when Noi brings up that you don't have a job? And I'm like, what does that matter to him about being hurt? Noi is scared that y'all just threw her in an arranged marriage and her husband ain't working and he's being secretive about his finances or what have you. She don't know him. She don't trust him. She haven't seen nothing from him. So why should she trust what he do? You know, you talk to my mom, you know what I can do. You know, I work hard to be a civil engineer or whatever, sales engineer, so that should be good enough. No, it ain't good enough. I don't know you. I don't know none of that stuff. None of that stuff don't matter. What about now? What are you doing now? But I see why now Pastor Cal backing him up. You know why? Because Pastor Cal was Con Man Cal and back in the day when he met his wife. He didn't have no job. Well, I'm sure he didn't have a career. So we said he was in between jobs. And he was saying pretty much like, that's why I really relate to Steve so much. That's doing like them Dr. Pepper things where like, oh, you want to live by yourself? No, that's cool, because I live by myself too. I'm in a separate living space other than my husband. No. This is totally different. This is an arranged marriage. They don't have the connection with the people. They have to build that up and build the trust and know what the person's doing. So they need to stop inserting themselves in those situations, because they met their partners in a much different setting. But so I get it. So Steve has an ally in Pastor Porn because, hey, guess what? He was a bum too. He didn't have no job, and look at him now. He didn't finesse his way on a TV show giving bad advice for married couples. So we just close out with Noy and Steve. Congratulations to the happy couple. They ended it up with they giving those little tight lip kisses or whatever. Looks very romantic and sexy. Okay. All right, the last couple. My goodness, Mark and Lindsay. How in the world would either of them say yes? But okay, I'm trying to get through this. They show flashbacks, different clips of Mark and Lindsay like going through it. And there's no reason for either one of them to say yes on decision day. But, they get so romantical and mystical in their confessionals. Mark says Lindsay always puts him first and she's always looking out for him and taking care of him and doing that. Well, I guess which is true. But Lindsay doesn't do that in good faith. She's doing that to use ammunition against him to bring it up later. Like, look what I did for you. Look what your life is in shambles. I don't want that kind of help. And, but Mark did make a point, like pretty much, well, I know this is all wonderful with Lindsay, but I'd rather be by myself if I got to argue every day. You got that with Lindsay. When they say a roller coaster, this marriage is totally a roller coaster. And you go back to Lindsay in her flashbacks, she's always taking some kind of shots at Mark. She's always down him. She always has some snide comment or whatever. It's just too many to even name. It's so ridiculous. But I don't know. One thing I can say, they look pretty good together. Everybody, again, Mark got his blue suit on. They doing it. I almost want to give them the best dressed couple, and that says a lot, especially if it involves Lindsay. But her dress material kind of looked like fancy tablecloth, but I did like it. It was appropriate for the evening. This is decision day. This is the last show. This is the biggest day. You're supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to look like you're going to a ball or a gala or something huge and big where you're drinking your wine out the carafe. Some big time stuff. And when Lindsay get to talking, I don't know if Lindsay is on that medication or she need to be on some medication like her counterpart Olajuwon. She just would start talking all over the place, about the future, about having a baby and then throwing the baby in a backpack, going to Africa and Australia and all that stuff. And she brings up a point, I told you they got to bring up a negative point about their spouse. She brought up that Mark is like really distracted by social media, and it really drives her crazy. And I get that. Like, that's a real thing in real life. That's like a new epidemic in the world, especially for us who did not grow up with social media. You're looking at your people like, you are addicted to this. And it may have hit all of us, but some are worse than others. Because why I say it's a bad thing, when you are spending more time on your phone than with your spouse in a real world situation, like how Noy wants us all to have 9 to 5s, you don't have time to be with your spouse. You don't have time to really be with your kids. You got to go to work. You spend most of your day gone. And then in that little time, you're showing the love to your phone. And it's a thing like out of habit. And it's absolutely an addiction. You even see little children who cry when they can't see a phone or a laptop or an iPad or something like that. It's a real thing. But like I said, nobody says like, hey, I have a drinking problem. I should probably cut back. Most people don't say that. They get into that. No, I don't be on social media too much. No way. But it has created a detachment of human beings. Like, we don't know how to be around each other without being on our phones. It's a crutch. We got to have it and got to have a look at it. And we could be sitting at dinner, people on their phones, because that's the drug. It's real. The internet has ruined the world. It's over. But, what can we do? Let's keep on moving. Listen, I'm on YouTube. If I wasn't on YouTube, I probably wouldn't even touch social media. It ain't my thing. It's not in real life. This is a struggle. That's what I'm telling you. I don't do this. I do this for y'all because people push me like Mark. It's like, you know what, man, you funny. You got comments. You need to have your own channel. And you hear it about 400 times. And I'm like, okay, I should. But other than that, guess what? I'm just fine making my little comments on YouTube and all that. I do this for the people. That is, believe that. It's not for something else. I'm trying to do it because I really wouldn't even be here. But I think all y'all who support me, I am nothing without the people. I am y'all. I did a little rant. I don't even know where I'm at in my notes. Let me check it out. So, Lindsay, she thinking like Mark is on social media so much because he needs the attention, or more so, he needs an outlet instead of talking to her, because he's actually doing the same thing that Noy's doing. He's putting those little subliminal messages about when he goes through that. And Lindsay's saying that's hurtful and that'll be out in the world forever. So he need to cut it out. And I think that's the part that the so-called expert needed to address. They needed, like, you got something on your chest about Lindsay. You need to talk to Lindsay, which that probably sounds good, but who can really talk to Lindsay? Lindsay will eat Mark up. He's too soft. He's too weak. She overpowers him. So I guess that's his only safe space. So, oh well. If he, with that, I hate that saying, but I'm going to say it. If he like it, I love it. Keep on going. Mark, you found your wife. So, Mark is just going on about, I guess, the decision that he loves being pushed by his mama bear. He didn't say mama bear, but that's what Lindsay said in one of her flashbacks or whatever, because she got to take care of her baby boy, Mark. He needs help. And Mark says yes, of course, because what else does he have to do? He ain't got no job. He need a wife. He going to need some benefits and all that kind of stuff. And he want to know what Lindsay got to say. Lindsay say, give me 24 to 48 hours or whatever. But she finally pulled her yes out the bag, and she gives Mark a backhanded compliment as usual or whatever, and really, like, he's not really the right guy, but he is just the type of guy that she needs or whatever. So wonderful. They doing it. They be all right. I give it 6 months. Well, okay, maybe not 6 months, because you know why? Because they put them together purposely to recreate Mark's parent. Mark is his father, who just loves life and to do what he wants to do and relax and be a good guy. And he has now a wife that beats him down verbally and puts him down. He just sits there and suffers in silence, just like his dad. May he rest in peace. But yeah, they'll stay together. Mark is going to hang in there. So as I tell you, I was really shocked by that everyone said yes on decision day. However, that's how I know this is all fake. There's no way that this is even possible. There's no way. There's no way. From now, Steve and Noy, they're going to live together, I guess, because he gave her the JamesAllen.com engineered diamond ring or what have you, and they're going to live together. But let's see. That's going to be great. That's going to be a test for Noy to really see how Steve handles his business. And guess what? Noy ain't got to pay rent no more, I guess. But no, Steve's going to go 50-50 on everything, But good luck to all the happy couples. This show is exhausting. I did say because it got so abusive, and I'm still kind of consider not doing the next season. However, what I did learn about myself is I can't invest myself so much in these shows where it's bothering me because, like, it's real life. Because as we see, this is fake. There's no way all of them could have said yes, because it made absolutely no sense. So Married at First Sight is passing out bonuses. Production is pulling the strings. And we might be on for next season, which is in July. Because, again, just have to remove myself. Whether they're somebody in there beating their wife and talking crazy, I guess we'll go and say, well, it's just for TV. They're actors. This is fake. I'm going to have to. But this is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. All right, well, that's it for this season. Next we have what? The reunion. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 parts. It didn't look that great. It kind of led us to believe. Only thing I saw that stood out, that Noy and Steve may not be together, but they do a word play. So who knows? But as I tell y'all, appreciate y'all rocking with me. And drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, what I missed, what y'all want to talk about. And as I tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.